Grockle.
Today I'm going to show you how to get your shoes on with a lovely grabber. Okay, got this grabber from Home Depot. I'm pretty sure it's Home Depot for about 20 bucks. They're kind of expensive, but they're pretty rugged, so they're probably worth your time in purchasing one. This one has, I think I'll mention it in the second half of this video. I made the second half of the video before I made the first half. Okay, has a little magnet right there, so you can tap it to something metallic that'll stick to a magnet, and it'll help you pick it up. I don't think it's got a magnet on the other side. It just has a magnet on one of the tongs. So anyway, it's got a nice grip here. Hopefully you can see it. Every once in a while it does pinch me. If I'm holding it a certain way, it'll pinch me right there. Wish the folks would who make grabbers would fix that, but they probably don't know that it happens. Okay, so this is the grabber that we'll use, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a sock. Let me get a sock here to show you what we got. Oops, got two socks accidentally. We get one sock. And we're going to take the sock and we're going to put it on the grabber. Okay. If you'll notice, once again, I also mentioned it in the second half of the video. You'll see that later. The tongs are kind of, at this point in time, I've got the grabber what most people would think of as upside down. So the tongs, you want to have the tongs up, and then you're going to have your heel pointed downwards towards the floor when you put this on, okay? When you put your sock on there. Now, what I usually do is I just take my index finger and my thumb, and I just take that, put it onto the grabber, just like that right there. Okay, so once again, you'll notice the heel is down towards the floor. Okay, and I'll get a little closer to show you. It doesn't have to be accurate on the grabber, just, although I do prefer it a little bit, because what you're going to do is you're going to be sticking your toe up in that gap right there that you've created. Okay, and hopefully you don't have great big toes. My big toes almost just big enough they won't fit in that gap, but mine fits fairly well. So we're going to be sticking our toes into that gap, and we'll get the toes in there as far as we can, and then once we do that, we'll remove the grabber and work the sock up the foot. Now once we get it on there, we have another utensil, or I have another utensil that I use to help me, and it is my 5-foot long shoe horn. Where do you get a 5-foot long shoe horn? The answer is you don't. What you get is about a 2.5 foot, maybe 3 foot long shoe horn, and you take duct tape, a lot of duct tape. By the way, this shoe horn came off of Amazon. You'll find some links there on some of my material to this shoe horn. You take duct tape, I think, is that also called gaffer tape? Duct tape's what I call it. Duct tape, and you take one of your hiking sticks and you duct tape it to your hiking stick, making a 5-foot long shoe horn. Okay, that way us dish folks don't have to bend over at all to get to your shoe and to your foot. Okay, so these are the grabber, the sock, and the shoe horn are what you're going to use to get your sock onto your feet, and of course your shoe as well. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it in the second half of this video. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've shown you the grabber and what I'm going to be using, and I position my sock basically like this on the grabber. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'm going to bring it in a little closer. The camera might lose focus, so just let me bring it in, rotate it around, show you how I put it on the grabber. Okay, and now let's put it on the foot. Okay, here we go. Basically, now this grabber kind of has, by the way, it has kind of the tongs on it are kind of bent, and you want it where the tongs are basically kind of pointing toward the sky when you do it upside down here. Okay, and that helps you get it on your foot. So I just bring it over, And usually it works a little better. I can slip it on my foot a little further, but it slipped off right there, but that doesn't matter. Then I just use the grabber to bring it onto the foot and keep on going, keep on going. Sometimes I have to come over here to the side and do a little work on it. And keep on working it, keep on working it, keep on working it. Okay, now we're making some progress. Okay, maybe work my toes a little bit, get a crinkle out. Okay, now we've reached the point where you can either try to reach it underneath it with the grabber, and sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I grab the side edge there with the grabber and I pull it over. But usually the easiest way is to take my 5-foot long shoehorn and just come, and I usually start on the top, because if you try to start on the bottom, you'll push your sock back down your foot. I start on the top with my foot on the ground and then just bring the shoehorn underneath, and kind of, once you get it over your heel, you're pretty good. Okay, so bring it over the heel with your shoehorn, and then you go back to the grabber at this point in time, and up and onto the foot you go. Okay, now let me show you the shoe. The shoe's fairly simple, and it's no different than what you might imagine. Okay, now once again, I'm in such a situation where I need this 5-foot long shoehorn. The 3-foot long shoehorn, as it comes from the factory, is not sufficient. So extending your shoehorn is very useful. And there you go, shoe on. And then next thing is you get your grabber. And these grabbers are right here. I bought these from Home Depot, and they're fairly good. They got a little, on one of the tips, they've got a little small magnet that will help you pick up things like paper clip, bobby pin, that sort of thing. And I highly recommend these shoes with Velcro on them. Now, being able to grab the Velcro and snug it real tight, not really going to happen with, my gut tells me, practically with any grabber that you got. And looks like I'm having trouble getting it tapped on. There we go. I got it. Okay, so there you go. That's how I get my socks and shoes on in the morning. And basically, I use the same tools to get them off at night. Thanks a lot. Hope it helps. Grackle.